logged in. I think we're about to get online, but anyhow, I'll just go this way until we actually can get everything logged in. We had the wrong password.
All right. Well, we'll proceed then. And just real quick, you might have heard. So the ground rules. I think you maybe have some feedback on your end. The ground rules this time are that we're sticking to the time limit. We're assuming that everybody has read the materials you all submitted to the council last week and the budget book. And so we'll take a brief opening statement and then move to questions. And we're starting at 4:16, and so we'll cut off this portion at 4:31. Go ahead, Chief Swan.
Thanks to all the Metro Council joining us via web. I want to say hello and thank you for allowing us to talk about the budget and the future of the Nashville Fire Department. And as everybody knows, we've faced some historical events that has started in this city. Even at the start of the budgeting process, we couldn't foresee all the events that we're actually dealing with. These events have been dramatic and has impacted our city and personnel and department. On March 3rd, we was hit with a tornado, and of course, it's devastated parts of the city. Our personnel were immediately out in the communities helping to rescue people who were trapped and provided medical care for those injured and working to make sure that we could get back on the road of recovery. Then just a few weeks shorter, we were hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. And even as we're meeting tonight, our EOC is currently active and open so that we can try to contain and eradicate this virus. For many of us, we feel like we're living in an alternate universe, but this is real. The budget challenges that we now face are also very real. We must, as a city, make sure that while we tighten our belts, we continue to provide the vital service to the Nashville Fire Department. Our department is an all-incident response agent. From fires to medical calls, fire inspections, arson investigation, special op responses, our personnel are called upon 24/7, 365. We have to provide for the increased demands on our department with a budget that does not negatively impact our personnel. That is why the following budget presentation is so important for you all to see and hopefully work with us to make it reality. Our needs are far greater than our wants. Our original requests were $10 million, which was a humble ask to just get our department where it needs to be. We are readjusting our budget requests accordingly based upon the current events, from the tornado to the COVID-19. During these unprecedented times in our nation, we are all being challenged in new and unimaginable ways. The budget that we have prepared to present has now taken turns in a way we never would have imagined, which has given public safety a challenge of a lifetime. This is not the budget Mayor Cooper wanted to present. I do thank him for all of his hard work and long hours and his commitment to public safety. I want to acknowledge his administration and finance team for their support and creativity. We know our department needs more and deserves more, and this will be a strain on our resources with the demand that this great city puts on the NFD. But under these conditions, we also understand we have to do our part to accept this budget and work equally as hard to continue to provide the great service to our citizens, visitors, and friends of Davidson County. Thank you for that, giving me the opportunity to do a little opening, and I am open for questions.
All right, thank you. Council Director Cooper has pointed out to me that the fire department was allotted for 30 minutes, so we'll go to 4:46 at the latest. Let me start by asking you a couple, Chief Swan, and then turn it over to council members. In the materials presented to the council, one of the answers says the Nashville Fire Department will have to be creative to continue providing quality emergency services to the residents and visitors of Nashville. And then it goes through a list of things that had been requested that they're isn't money for in the mayor's budget. Would you mind talking a little bit more about whether it's safe to have you guys be creative? And then the second part of the question is to on that list of things, which ones are would you put first as far as a priority?
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you very much. And I'll be willing to speak for 30 minutes or even more if needed be, but I think that fire, the time that was allotted is because the fire and OEM normally presents together because I'm the director of Office of Emergency Management, and I think they just made that mistake. But I'm more than happy to be able to answer your question. So your first question, I think, Chair, you asked about being creative. I will say that we've had a niche for actually being creative through our department. I mean, I think in the last couple of decades, we've been very creative in trying to make sure that even though the city is growing up, we also know it's growing out, and we've had to be very creative within the department to be able to meet the demands of this city, as you stated. I will say that the mayor has made it clear that he does not want any reduction of any services that we provide to any of the citizens. Which we are very appreciative of that because we know his commitment to public safety. If you look at that list of asks that we did, we need, and if you wanted me to prioritize them, the biggest issue that we have to tackle, we know we need staffing. Our FTEs are short. I asked for 60 firefighters, and we just to get us to full staffing, and then of course our EMS FTEs, you'll see $2.7 million, and that's to get 3 more additional med units. Currently we have 28, but again, with the demand of the city and up on our department, getting 16 more EMTs and 24 paramedics will give us an additional 3 med units in order to be able to provide an excellent service. But without looking at, and we understand under these times that we have to crunch and tighten the belt, but I want everybody to understand this, that there is no fat to cut from our department. But if you look at the paid family leave, that's $2.2 million, and it's subject to go up next year. That's an unfunded that's unfunded to the department. So this paid family leave is something that when we walk into the door, when our budget starts, we start out in a negative $2.2 million. And there's and that's difficult for a department to try to manage. And it has a lot of variance there as far as, or a lot of, I guess, situational that we're in a department that we don't have enough staffing to be able to absorb the paid family leave. When you start talking about regular vacation, military leave, sick, IOD, and then, of course, there's just no way to absorb that. So if Will Swan is off, due to the paid family leave, I have to backfill that with overtime. So that's one thing that is very critical and devastating to our department. It's a great tool, and it's a great resource for all departments. It's not that I'm against it by no means, because I can use it myself. But just because it's not funded, it becomes very, very difficult for us to manage. I'd say the paid family leave is our biggest hurdle that we need to address, or would love to have some type of solution to that. And I've already talked a little bit about our staffing levels, but this year, everybody having to tighten the belt, and we completely understand that. We understand, again, as I stated in my open statement, this is not a budget that the mayor definitely wanted to present. But moving forward with what he did present to us, the paid family leave is still the thing that's the thorn in our side.
All right. Thank you.
And, yeah.
I'll hand it now to Councilmember Suara.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chief. I wanted to say that your department has been going strong since March 3rd, and a lot of us have witnessed what you've done for the city. I'm also privy to the fact that you have a lot of old apparatus, and and you're running less men than the nationally required of the apparatus. So I know the challenges that your department face, and it's one that we do need to address. My question for you, though, is that in the detail that was submitted, about 1.3 million is allotted to overtime. And so my question is it better to do the overtime, or is it better to actually have a staff to do those jobs rather than just paying overtime? Just for clarification, again, it's something that you have to do to keep us going and keep us safe. But I was just wondering, with that amount in overtime, is it better to go the overtime route? Is it better to just have more staff? Thank you.
Well, that's a great great question, and a simple answer: it is to get personnel, FTEs, because even if you pay the overtime, you're still taking wear and tear on the personnel. And then with the possibility of working longer, harder, again, the risk of having more injuries, which will make your IOD rate goes up. So if you're looking at it in a financial way, of course, you pay overtime. But that's something that we've been doing for the last, again, 2 decades that we've been dealing with that. It is for a department to have proper staffing. It gives you so much more leeway. It opens up other doors. For instance, we talked about the paid family leave. That would help a little bit if I had proper staffing, or if I had adequate max staffing. It would help absorb some of that paid family leave. So, again, if you're looking at it as far as dollar-wise, it's better. Of course, you just pay the overtime, but it still doesn't affect. It still doesn't help the department be the most efficient and productive department, because when you're short-staffed, it just runs into a lot of other issues. Meaning, if we make a call, when normally you would send an engine and a truck and a rescue, now you have to send more equipment. Just to not because you need the equipment, but you need the staff, you need the personnel off of the equipment. So now that you're running more equipment, what does that do? Well, that pulls stations out of their zone. So now you have inadequate coverage in certain areas. So it's a snowball effect. Again, we have been doing this for quite a while. It's almost like a chess match daily when we start to when we're, and of course, the fire department, the call volumes have went up tremendously from EMS and fire. So I know I gave you the long answer, but I wanted you to understand the whole process of paying overtime is great, but you've got to have staffing so that it will make it will calm down the department and have us be more flexible and able to do a lot more things a lot better. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Johnston?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to see if you have done any sort of analysis when you're looking at $1.3 million in overtime, and I think Councilmember Suara touched on it, and you guys did too, to say that the paid family leave was like highest priority. Do we know, when we're looking at $1.3 million in overtime, how much of that is attributed to the lack of paid family leave versus a proper staffing, so that we can just kind of prioritize what would solve this problem best?
Chief Swan?
A good question, but very, very, very difficult. In the weeds with trying to, and I will be able to give a better written, explanation with that, because when you start looking at the paid family leave, there is so many things involved in that. But I can say that if we had proper staff, well, of course, it would help a little bit with the paid family leave. But here's the thing with paid family leave: more staff you have, then the more possibility of having more paid family leave. I mean, so that's not really the overtime or even the adequate staffing is not the total solution. It's just a part of it. It's a little piece of it. But with that, and I'm very appreciative of getting from Mayor Cooper and his finance team the 1.3 improvement for overtime and fringe. That is very appreciative and very much needed, may I add. But again, that paid family leave, the only way that my solution is that you fund the department accordingly. If you can get a running tally, or you can look at the history of the paid family leave and sort of fund the departments in that way. That's my solution. I think it's the easiest solution, but if you have the funding to do it, of course.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Druffel?
Yeah, thanks for everything you do, Chief. Under other expenses, I noticed that in budget 19, you had $1,358,000. Actual turned out to $2,384,000. Budget 20 is $1,356,000. In budget 1,912,000 in 21. Just some sort of significant swings. I guess maybe give us a quick history on what caused that swing and what is the danger of possibly swinging at a higher level as we go into 21.
Could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you very well.
I have Lee in my finance here. We're pulling that data up as you're talking. So could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking at under general fund, fire financial, under other expenses. In the budget, it's if I have this right, it's $1,358,000 in other expenses in 19 budget, $2,384,000 in the actual other expenses. Budget 20 is $1,356,000, and then you're budgeting $1,912,000. And the question is, there was $1 million incremental cost or expense in other expenses from the budget to the 19 actual, which is a pretty significant number. I was just checking to see what impacted that possibly historically, or what could impact that in the future.
There's around three main areas of concern that we've had going on here. We have an overwhelming need for additional medical supplies, safety supplies, and maintenance costs. And with each year, those costs increase due to price increases as well as volume increases. On the medical side, medical calls and transports are increasing rapidly. They've gone up over 30% over the past 8 years. Safety supplies, again, we're having to replace those annually. And that's where that increase is coming from, because the need stays there, but the budget has not increased. On the maintenance side, the age of the facilities continues to grow. Therefore, it costs more to maintain and make repairs.
That all makes sense. The point is, if we under budgeted in 19, are we under budgeting, or we're going to have to pay these supplies and something similar in 21?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because unfortunately, there weren't enough funds to fully fund that. We try to utilize 4% when it's available. But yes, those needs are going to continue to grow.
Right. And then also taking into consideration, even with the COVID-19, I mean, the PPE that's being utilized and used, but we are appreciative as well that the finance team have been very outspoken and helping with as a resource, even with the CARES Act, at least for PPE purposes. We're trying to relate that to COVID, because it is that number is going to, of course, go through the roof, supply and demand. So that's where you see that increase at.
Okay, and so the $1,912,000 for this next year is not going to be enough to actually keep up with the supplies.
That is correct. We will have to rely on 4% and potentially additional funding. We are pursuing grants where possible, but there's no guarantee that those grants will be awarded to the department.
Thank you very much.
Councilmember Hurt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chief, thank you so much, you and your entire department, for all that you all have done for the city over the past 2 months. And I noticed that there may have been some promotions, and several I was very happy to see. But in light of the lack of staff and funding for staff, have you been relegated to promoting within to compensate for that lack?
Those are two different things. Now, the promotions are just replacing, and this is for everyone that may not understand. I know, Councilor Hurst, you understand this completely, but when we made those promotions, which we're very appreciative that we're allowed to do, those are just, it's not added, it's nothing new in the department. It's just if, Will Swarmer, if he's a captain, he leaves, that position is there, so we're just plugging it back into, so we have the right people for leadership in those positions, because it's always important that you fill your positions. For instance, we had X amount of engineers, which are your drivers, and you had your captains in your district. We went for months without filling those roles, and that's always dangerous to a department. You want to make sure, again, that you put your people in those positions to make the right decisions on a consistent basis and not be having people travel in and out of it. But again, those were already positions in the department, and we were just filling them. And we do have a recruit class that we've got going right now, and we hope to have another one in the fall because, again, when we start talking about our numbers being low and attrition is something that's difficult for us to catch up with. And I'm not saying anything that you guys don't know, and I'm not saying anything that Mayor Cooper don't know. I mean, matter of fact, he agreed on these subject matters. We've talked in depth about it, and I know his commitment to even with the fire department specifically about trying to catch up and put us where we need to be. But again, we are here, and what we have to do now, Councilor Hurst, is try to just continue to be creative and capture everything that we can with enthusiasm and be very mindful of where we're at today and where we want to be tomorrow.
Absolutely, Chief Swan, and I know that the fire department is one of those departments that if I had the money to be able to send there, you would be one of the first departments that I would try to fund. But I just wanted for the listening audience to know that just because there were promotions, that does not mean that there was an increase in those particular budgets for those departments in order for you to be able to do what was necessary for you to do.
Very well said. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. Yeah, Councilmember Allen, I know you had the hand up for a while. You're no question, or do you?
Well, it's kind of been answered, but I would like to follow up to circle back around to the overtime question. I appreciate the explanations you've given, Chief Swan, and again, thanks for all your folks are doing. Clearly, I'll have to spend extra time finishing things up. Was that a request specifically from y'all, or was that a designation by the mayor's office of how that should be spent based on their assessments? Do you have flexibility in how you could spend that $1.3 million?
So those overtime funds that they gave us, they'll go into the overtime bucket. We can use it for overtime associated with paid family leave. We can use it for overtime associated with special events, or we can use it for general overtime in the field. We'll use it for whatever we're directed to do.
Gotcha. But you couldn't use it to hire like a flex team to relieve people so that it wouldn't actually be overtime and use it that way, so maybe it would go farther?
If the administration granted us that permission, we could pursue that route.
And I will say this, I think very freely to say the fact that I guess when it's time for true up, I mean, we will use that funding where we needed it most. I mean, that's just the bottom line with that. I think they understand the need of this department, because this conversation that we're having now is very, I guess, at the top of the water. We were deep in it when we went to budget and finance, and I think along with Kevin and Mary Jo and all the team of finance, Kevin and Mary Jo, the new ones, but even the ones that have been here before, definitely understand the needs of this department. And I think we would be able to use the funds where it was needed to be used.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Anybody else with questions for Chief Swan or his staff? Looks like nobody else. Chief, again, on behalf of the whole council, a couple of my colleagues mentioned it. Really, really, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate everything that the department is doing for the city during these trying times. More so than ever, your team is putting their lives on the line, and that means a lot to us. So thank you, and please thank them for us.
We'll do that. And let me just mention real quick, my team, including the Office of Emergency Management, again, those guys are doing an incredible job with a small staff and able to try to keep things moving. The city, we are in different times, but this is a privilege for us as a department to step up when needed, as always. But again, we appreciate all you guys' time, and we'll continue to give the same service that we can. And thank you for your support.
Thank you, Chief. All right, so folks, we're just a couple minutes ahead. The Sheriff's Department is next. So I'm going to check to see whether they are available and online already. Are you all there? All right.